He is like Mr. Little Tokyo.
Hi folks, my name is Hideki Fukusumi and I work with Kizuna. Today we're shooting an episode of Who Knows Little Tokyo Better, so we'll be going around checking out monuments, we'll be quizzing a couple of people within the community, and it's going to be an interesting day, so let's get started. Alright, so with me here I have Steve Nagano and Alan Nishio, and do you know what building we're in front of right now?
It's called the Japanese American Cultural and Community Center.
That's it, we're done!
1 point for me, yes!
Hey, all right, let's go to lunch.
So we're going to be walking around checking out some stuff. Follow us along.
Can I get your autograph?
Sure.
Alright, so we're here at our first destination, and just gonna just ask some questions, and it's just gonna be raise your hand, whoever raises their hand first. Yes, exactly. Great demonstration.
Another point, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
dusting you.
Really, man.
yeah, so we'll just have you raise your hands. Whoever answers the question first correctly, we'll get the point for it, and we'll just move on from there. You ready?
Yes.
Alright, where are we at right now? Yes.
Los Angeles.
He answered for you.
We're in the James Irvine Garden of the Japanese American Cultural and Community Center.
Yes, awesome. Ding, 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 ding. When did the Hey now. You have to wait for me to finish the question. You're being way too Japanese about this too, actually. You're being so nice and sharing these points with each other. I don't know who to score.
2/3, 1/3.
2/3, 1/3? Okay, we're going. Last question. What does the garden represent?
Oh, go ahead.
You raise your
I'm
hand.
sorry.
raise your
Go
hand.
ahead.
Yep,
Go ahead.
follow the
What
rules.
It represents the three generations. The tumultuous one at the waterfall coming down to the Nisei, the Sansei, and going out to the street and like sort of assimilating with the rest of American society.
Great.
Well, but it's known for what's called the clear stream that starts at the top and then kind of works its way down by generations. Yeah.
So yeah, combination. Half point again. All right, let's move over to our next destination.
Okay.
Sounds good.
The centerpiece of the plaza is the Noguchi sculpture, which is called To the Issei, which represents Noguchi's interpretation of kind of two generations, basically. The standing one is the Issei, first generation. Rock down is supposedly Nisei, or future generations, in a more kneeling position to recognize the contributions of the Issei.
Before we get into the questions we have here, let's take some quick time to introduce yourselves real quick, so that the people know who exactly we're working with.
Age before beauty.
Go ahead, Steve. Well, this is Steve Nagano.
Okay.
Steve Nagano is a resident of Little Tokyo, has lived here for a number of years, and he and his wife Patty have been very active in Little Tokyo and really a key part of the residential community of Little Tokyo. He's helped to organize the Little Tokyo Sparkle, which is an annual event to bring together volunteers to really keep Little Tokyo clean, and he also works with the Little Tokyo Historical Society.
Great.
And is active with visual communications and the Nikkei for Civil Rights and Redress.
Thank you, Alan. Alan Nishio. Does he need an introduction? Name something that he has not been involved with. LTSC board member, JACC board member, really too many that I don't even know. There's pictures of him holding picket signs demonstrating the removal of the tenants over at the Sun Building, and so Alan goes way back, almost to the beginning of Little Tokyo.
So the first one is gonna be, what is the significance of the statue and why it's here, and who is Sugihara?
During the Second World War, and he signed visas allowing Jews escaping Romania and Poland to go through Russia all the way to Japan, settling in Kobe. Near the time of his death, they were saying he saved approximately 40,000 Jews from dying.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's meaningful because I think, as Alan has said, that our responsibility as Japanese Americans is to stand up for justice having been a victim of injustice.
Absolutely.
And so Chune is like a symbol for standing up against his government.
Thank you. That absolutely 1 point for that. And it's also a testament to the idea that, we as individual people can all do more, right? Like, I think that's a reminder of that here as well. Let's go ahead and move on to the next location.
All right.
All right, we're at our next destination here. So we are on the corner of Central and First Street. Can either of you tell me what the importance of First Street is?
First Street is the one block, the north side of First Street is the only portion of Little Tokyo that's recognized as a historic preservation zone.
Yes.
And so it's very important for Little Tokyo to be able to have a place like this, so it's protecting the architecture but also provides new generations a sense of what Little Tokyo was like in the 1920s and 30s.
Next question is, with this building, the Japanese American National Museum, the old Japanese American National Museum, what was this building used for in World War II?
He would know, he lived through it.
First, the home of Nishio Buddhist Temple.
Okay.
And then this facility was initially used to house some of the nonprofit organizations and cultural groups that were evicted as a result of redevelopment happening in the 1970s. It still continues to be an important location. It houses the Go for Broke National Education Center.
Yes. Thank you so much. We'll be moving to the next location. Okay, just a few steps down from where we were earlier. Behind you two is a monument. Can either of you tell me what this is here?
This represents Toyo Miyatake's camera.
Okay.
And of course he was a photographer in Little Tokyo. He went to Manzanar, he snuck in some lenses, and in camp he either built or had built, somebody built him a camera using like scrap wood. This is obviously not the camera, but it's a replica of it.
Yes.
And then today in the evening it shows some photos from camps, Toyo's photos back here.
So essentially without him having built that secret camera, we would have no idea what the conditions inside were like, what the life, just the general life experience was like inside the camp. All right, so we are here at our next stop. Can either of you tell me what this is?
Well, this mural was made in the 90s, I believe, and it sort of depicts the history of the Japanese Americans from early workers, early Little Tokyo, all the way up to the concentration camps.
This was an initial group of Issei coming over in the 1890s, where they were brought in by an employment company. And the personal significance is that this is my grandfather, and this is my granduncle. I look at this picture and I shared it with my children, grandchildren, to reinforce the importance of the immigrant experience. At this time, there's so many attacks on immigrants. And but they really represented, I think, the same aspirations that immigrants do today.
What would you say the importance of this mural being here is?
We want everyone who visits Little Tokyo to understand this is a historic, cultural community that they're entering, and in many ways for Japanese Americans it's sacred ground.
Yeah.
And we want people to understand, respect the past, be committed to building for a future.
And head over to our last stop.
Okay.
Cool. All right, last stop for the day. This has been a pretty even match, I guess, for the most part.
way.
No. Hopefully this is your time to jump ahead right now. So, question number one, what is this?
This is a monument, Japan towns.
Okay.
There are three similar, almost identical, I just learned that from Alan.
Oh.
Monuments in Los Angeles, San Jose, and San Francisco.
Who designed this landmark?
The designer name is Louis Quaintz. He was commissioned by the California Japanese American Community Leadership Council, and we were looking for something that would capture the kind of linkage between the three remaining Japan towns. And
The last question. This is worth 50 points, so anyone can jump ahead right now. What exactly was the goal of this project here? And you gotta raise your hand to answer.
it was to really show the importance of the three remaining Japan towns.
Okay.
And how we're all facing similar threats.
Yeah.
We're being threatened by gentrification, development, things like that. We're not largely residential communities for Nikkei, but that it's important that we preserve those three communities. And for future generations, for us to understand our culture, we need a sense of place.
Appreciate both of you.
There's a monument right here.
He's a walking monument
Yeah,
here,
so-
yeah. Well, I want to take some time to appreciate both of you coming out today and doing this with us. It's been great.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alan.
All right, my guy.
You know,
Thank you both.
I learned a
And
lot.
thank you.
Steve,
Yes.
let's see some of your photos. Those are your bonus points.
Well,
Steve
this
came
is a
prepared.
photo.
Oh, wow.
These are some photos I usually take when I do a tour of Little Tokyo. This one is up here at the Yamato building, in which people were being evacuated, forced removed.